Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol William La, Adonai Yahweh, Bashem Shamalak Yahushai, Bashem Rakadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Millstone, peace and station for elect, and Shalom. And the title of this video is going to be The Age a Girl Becomes a Woman. So, the other video I did was about a boy. This time I'm doing it about a woman, and pretty much it's gonna tie in with some of the facts showing that when she's a woman at the age of 12, that's the average age, but it's pretty much at the age where she gets her period. And she will be given into marriage in that age, and that's pretty much how it was in the ancient world. But the reason why Esau's so much against this idea, and he pretty much demonizes that idea, is because they're against the population increasing. So what they want, these Edomites really want the population to decrease, because it's going to the Georgia Guidestone agenda. So they're against what they call overpopulation, which isn't really such a thing as that, because Esau is hiding a lot more land from us than what we're given. So, but it says right here, when Sarah died, Abraham married a young woman, no doubt between 9 and 13 years old. Many children evolved from this marriage. That's what it was saying right here. And they said David, who was 70 years old, married Abishag, who was no more than 9 or 10 years old. So then he's given the scriptures references as well. Yeah, this is the one that he never had sex with, pretty much, because back in that time period, in the ancient world, the men of the nation of our people, we call the shots, in the relationship. Everything was about us, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because when it's coming to a man is like, he's supposed to be over the woman and things of that nature, and it shows it right here, like Rebecca. It says in the Bible, Isaac was 40, married Rebecca when she was 10, and consummated the marriage when she was 10. And the marriage that we're talking about here is sex. So I'll do another separate video on that, showing that sex is marriage. And back then, like, we used to make, a woman feel like shit. Like, they would feel like shit if they didn't have sex with a man back then. And they only were allowed to have it with one man. If they have it with more than one man, then that's, they're defiling themselves and committing adultery. And that puts demons on them, because they're getting other men's spirits in them, and that's unlawful. So, this is pretty much like the suitable age for a woman to get, married when she has a period, because she's gonna eventually start thinking about, pretty much womanly things at a young age. She's gonna grow into that. She starts at the age of, when she hits puberty, which is usually around the age of 12, but it's different for certain females when they hit puberty, when they have their period. Some may have it at maybe, I don't know, maybe like 9 to, different ages. Everyone's different. So it says right here, like, about kidshealth.org. Kidshealth.org. Most girls get their first period when they're around 12, but getting it anytime between age 10 and 15 is okay. Every girl's body has its own schedule. And this website on PlannedParenthood.org says a woman becomes able to get pregnant when she ovulates for the first time about 14 days before her first menstrual period. This happens to some women as early as when they are 8 years old or even earlier. Most often, ovulation begins before a woman turns 20. But, in the kingdom, like I said, that's gonna be a thing where all the laws are gonna be kept. We're gonna basically keep all the Old Testament laws, 613 laws, statutes, and commandments, because the laws were never done away with. And this is the this is the reason why some people, since they're too stuck up on their feelings. Remember Apostle Gabar did a funny video about that recently, like about a week ago, showing that how how simple minded a lot of these other simple minded niggas are, because they're caught up on their feelings instead of caught up on the scriptures, so they follow after Esau's BS ways. And Esau teaching these niggas that the age of consent will be 17, 16, or some states, or maybe even 18. But in other countries, the age of consent will be at a lower age. And don't get me wrong, I used to think that this was wrong when I was in the world. But then that's the reason why it's like, when you learn this truth, you're pretty much relearning all the bullshit, trying to like wipe out all the bullshit that you was taught and relearning something was taught ages ago. But it's like it's a refreshment in your mind, And one thing you get to realize is that pretty much Esau demonizes everything the Heavenly Father does. But yet people don't want to call out the wicked shit that this nigga Esau does, We're just completely going off. Because everything Esau does is anti-Mashiach. Everything the Most High does is, to promote life. So right here it says, but if any man think that he behaving himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. So pretty much like at the age where she passes her flowers, which is like her having a period, that's when she's able to be given into marriage. That's what the Bible said, So if you're trying to call the men of the Lord being rapists, saying that we're pedophiles, there's no case, no time that we've ever done something like this. And, we haven't seen any reports on it. Because we would never do something that's in Esau's kingdom that Esau demonizes, And plus, like I said, I don't even think of women like that anyway from being that young, of being into marriage, because everything is so polluted right now. And plus, like, it's just when the kingdom is established, and that's a different story, our people's beauty will be magnified and things of that nature, So we're gonna be looking, way better than before and all that other stuff. But that's the title for another lesson. The same thing with like, the age requirement of marriage and like and other requirements of marriage. Those are like topics for another lesson. But this is just to only show, the age a girl becomes a woman, as evidence. So past the flower of age is what it means.
Strong's G 5230. Huperakmas. Huperakmas.
Huperakmas. So beyond the bloom or prime of life, overripe, plump, and ripe. A greater, of a virgin, basically. That's what it is. So when you pass the flower of your age, you pass in the flower of your youth. You have bloomed, Pretty much like when a flower blooms, it turns into a complete flower. Every flower has a stage in life. And, when the Most High, when he uses parables, He speaks in parables. He speaks in metaphors and figurative language to basically symbolize what he's saying, and he will usually use that through nature, through agriculture in general. You know, there was even some cases where he have used that, even through fishing. So, just to show you the lingo that the Most High speaks, and His Son. But let me show like more evidence, to pretty much back up what I'm saying. So it says a girl, third child, young person of either sex, but most frequently of females. So that's what it is. Okay. And over here it says woman, adult female human. And also means like a female servant, and pretty much like the role, that was pretty much like the role and the purpose of a woman, to be a female servant. And what their mothers are supposed to be doing is teaching their daughters how to basically carry on their lot as a woman, which is to serve their man, and only one man, which is, the man of the Lord, because we're the real men out here. And then, the Bible would pretty much like, they would pretty much show you like, how examples of certain woman that was pretty much like, married at a young age with a man that was at an older age. But you see, like, you have other countries where men do this, and especially if it's a heathen man, people won't look at them like as bad. But if it's us, if it's one of us now, you're gonna definitely have people, especially even our own people, looking at us like we ain't shit for even being polygamous, or for even dating a woman that's at a young age or so. Like, let's say if she was like maybe 15 or 14. So, and sometimes like you see, like, you will have Jake that will be sometimes at the age of 50, and they have maybe a decent amount of money. They might be age of 40 or 50, and they get with a woman that's like, what, 30 or in her late 20s. Sometimes Jake be moving like that though, and that's playing it smart, because that's the age of consent, if anything, at the end of the day. Esau, he just put more restrictions on Jake, and have them doing, things which is his way, which is going against the ways of Yasharahla, which is completely wicked. And this is the reason why the Most High, he has to kick this devil out, because he only destroys life, and he makes something that's pro-life look like it's evil, because the Bible's pro-life and Esau's anti-life. So of course Esau's going to be against this idea. And you know how much kids Jake be having? Jake be having way more kids than Esau. When you consider Jake from the southern kingdom and another kingdom, which southern kingdom consists of the so-called black tribes, and then you got the another kingdom which consists of Native American tribes, Latin and Hispanic tribes. Yeah, we be having kids like crazy. And you see Esau's against that idea. And that's why he wants to have the age of consent to be so damn high. And every country, they want to control the population of how much you have kids. And, obviously, you don't even want to have kids in this place because the Bible speaks against, in certain time periods like this, like Jeremiah said, you shouldn't really have kids in this place. And you shouldn't really seek a wife, as Apostle Paul was saying, and Jeremiah said the same shit too. You know, because when you observe and be diligent with the times, you will see that this is not the perfect time to have kids. These are one of the times where Yahushua said, blessed be the barren in those days. And you see, as you see money's inflating more than ever, money getting tight, and it's pretty much, things gonna start getting more expensive than ever, then Jake finna, be fucked in that time for the most part. And it's like you having kids, a lot of kids, and the government barely even supporting you. Just imagine when the government don't bounce back on its feet and it's not giving no support at all. How you gonna support your kids? But pretty much that's what I wanted to get on that. In the Bible, you had a lot of women back then. It would be easier to have a woman to marry, and obviously what makes her a woman through the scriptures is, biologically speaking, is her, basically having her period. And, by that time, she's supposed to be pretty much trained by her mother to, which is supposed to be an experienced woman, an experienced female servant, to learn, to teach her daughter how to raise a man and how to treat a man and how to, basically, how to keep her man. Yeah. Because, women was back in order in those times. And in those times, they would be seeking a man. Nowadays, it's like many women, they don't want to seek a man like how they used to in a sincere way. They just want to, they find a man, they just want to screw them over and shit like that. Because that single mother home shit, how they be destroying, the family structure. But hope I made the lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Bashem, Shalom, Yahweh, Bashem, Kakdash. Double honor to the apostles and Ezra Millstone. Peace to teach and hope for let. Yahweh, Shem, Shalom, Bakashah, Shalak, Wayam, Arawayam, Waka, Wayam, Wa, Ababa, Shalom.